that Jimmy Kimmel will be returning to TV tomorrow night. What do you think?
Well, it's great news. Obviously, the ABC heard from millions and millions of people out there who do not want to accept government-dictated censorship of their late-night talk show host. And so the free speech battle's not over. Obviously, Donald Trump still thinks he's got the power to anoint and appoint comedians in the country in private media broadcasts, but at least ABC is on the right side now, and he's got his employer with him as well as so much of the public.
I guess all you need to do is come back to a show is to shoot up a news station and send death threats. When your side shoots up a TV station, send death threats, you get uncanceled. Jimmy Kimmel set to return to ABC after backlash, but won't apologize for Charlie Kirk comments, sources says, according to the New York Post. And many people are calling out the hypocrisy about this, how the Democrats sat here fearmonger about the fact that Donald Trump got him fired. Oh, this is a form of fascism. All in all, Disney just put him on like a 5-day suspension, I believe. Justin Scott Jennings on Jimmy Kimmel being reinstated by Disney. So basically his employer suspended him for being an insensitive prick, and we don't live in an authoritarian regime. Got it. And this is the game that the Democrats are playing. I think, honestly, when you get down to the root cause of all this stuff, Democrats don't got no real issues to really advocate for. And I got down on another video for you guys, but I want to focus more on these fascism comments that the left continues to try to make and continuously try to dehumanize people. And it just turns out that Disney wasn't pressured to take Kimmel off the air at all. As it turns out, he was just removed for being a liar. Now that Walt Disney believes enough time has passed, they're going to let him lie on air again. Well, everyone who called Donald Trump a fascist, please apologize. They won't do that. Come on, they're leftists. They got to keep the rhetoric up there in the disaster catastrophic mode. And I saw some videos out there of Chicago people doing this whole play of Trump getting hurt and assassinated, bleeding out on stage, Elon Musk getting beheaded in Chicago for a show. This is but we're the ones that have to turn down the rhetoric, right? So I want to play this clip of, obvious hypocrisy, but a lot of people on the right are calling this out, that if someone on the right said something incendiary, like, what's his name, Alex Jones, about Sandy Hook, he loses his show, he loses company, he loses company, and he gets sued for $1 billion. Jimmy Kimmel, after some gunshots at an ABC station and not retracting an apology, he gets his show back after some time. And to me, it just shows how, how sensitive a lot of liberals are. That if they get even half the punishment conservatives do, how hard they scream and cry bloody murder. But, I digress. And this is the guy that they wanted to compare to Charlie Kirk as a free speech martyr. Yeah, okay. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'll put up this clip real quick as I continue on this little rant of mine.
Instead, we're banning comedians from being on TV, and then you put out garbage like that. I would hope that Americans would see beyond this. And it is encouraging to me, Chris, some of the clips you played of the conservative comedians and some of the conservative voices like Karl Rove, they get it, that this is North Korea style stuff. It has no place in America. And people need to make sure that if he gets away with this, man, Katie, bar the door. It's all open. Every one of those rights is then at risk.
And the three networks use what they call the public airways. Therefore, there are government regulations on them that they must operate within the public interest. That is the headline. So ABC, NBC, CBS have to operate within the public interest. That's subjective. But Carr has the right to go in and investigate anything that he believes is not in the public interest. And I'll submit this to you. There's almost a total blackout in the United States for non-liberal voices on the network news. Did you know that, Pierce?
Yeah, no, it's obvious. Yeah,
it's been in place ever since Donald Trump got into the political arena. I'm the best-selling nonfiction author in the world. As you know, anybody putting me on TV gets higher ratings. People want it, what that crazy O'Reilly is going to say today. I can't get booked on a Today Show or Good Morning America or any of the late night shows. Why? Because I'm not a liberal. Jimmy Kimmel didn't book one liberal in 3 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So the FCC, and there's no denying that the Trump administration despises people who it deems have treated Donald Trump unfairly. There's no denying that. But the FCC says, hold it. Is this in the public interest? Where you have the three networks blacking out, excluding every voice that isn't non-liberal, that isn't a liberal voice. You can't plug a movie, a book, a recording. You can't have a dialogue. Now, I used to be on Kimmel and Letterman and Leno all the time because the ratings were so good, and The View all the time. But that changed, and the corporations, they were fine with it. Disney led the league in it. So you're telling me that that's not an attack on freedom of speech?
And I think some of the reason why Jimmy Kimmel got away with all this stuff, as you know, Disney is not considered the most conservative company, that only 10% of Democrats are aware that Charlie Kirk's killer was left-wing. This represents a complete failure of legacy media to honestly inform its viewers. More Americans see left-wing beliefs behind Charlie Kirk's shooting than see right-wing beliefs. Do you think that the person who killed Charlie Kirk was mostly motivated by left-wing beliefs? U.S. adults, 37% of them believe so. They believe something else, 17%. That means the two less likely, something other than political beliefs, and right wings are the least people prescribe to the motive of the killer. And this is the kind of disinformation campaign that the legacy media is doing. Look at the Democrats. Only 10%, not sure, and then mostly right wing. The complete opposite. Even independents think, and most of them are not sure. But even independents think it's more likely that they are a Democrat than they are a Republican. But, hey, Democrats, they don't live in reality. They live in the figment of their own imagination. Their own imagination. YouGov. This is a YouGov poll, by the way, just in case someone in the comment section want to fact check me. And one last thing I want to put here. It must be nice to be a leftist. Cancellation lasts 5 nights and you're right back under the chic lights. On the right, you're underground. This kind of happened to Megyn Kelly. I think she questioned blackface and why people were offended by blackface, and she lost her show. She lost damn near her whole political career, not her whole, almost lost her media career over comments like that. While Jimmy Kimmel gets to lie about the political affiliation of an assassination of Charlie Kirk. And this I don't know. I think the left are desperate to get back to culture, and they think they can claw their way back into the culture by continuously labeling us and conservatives the worst things in history. One, I believe, is because they got no arguments. They really, on the issues, they really got nothing on the issues. I mean, every issue they push, you could look at Joe Biden's presidency and show the American people an example of it not working. Trump just announced breakthrough discoveries about autism, and there's a lot of things that people on the right was called conspiracy theorists for bringing up. Delaying the MMR vaccines. Hey, removing mercury out of vaccines. Whoa, conspiracy theorists. And these are the labeling and character assassinations that I think that this is one of the reasons I think the left went so nuclear. They screamed bloody murder when their guy, Jimmy Kimmel, essentially got suspended because he's a mouthpiece. He pushes their values. He helps condemn their opponents. And I think this is why they go around calling Trump an authoritarian. And honestly, this is all the Democrats have left.
I'm Congressmember Judy Chu from the Pasadena area, and I'm co-chair of the Congressional Creative Rights Caucus, which works to protect our precious film, television, and music industries. And I'm here to say...
I ask you a question, guys. We all know the political leanings of many people in Hollywood. If these people were like a bastion of conservatism, you think the left and Democrats will care about this? No. And I admit it's political. It's all political. But the problem with Democrats and Republicans, the Democrats, they pretend that they're doing something virtuous and all that jazz, right? And conservatives are like, hey, look, this is the law. These are the rules you stand for. Live by them. Hey, you spread misinformation. Did they give any factual arguments for why? Oh, no, he's just a joke, right? And this is how they're softening the offense that Jimmy Kimmel has done. they're trying to create this narrative that conservatives are offended over a joke versus the real reasons most conservatives were offended by what Jimmy Kimmel had to say was that he tried to prescribe something, the killer's motives to his political rivals. And we all know the Democrats and the liberals' political rivals. It's people on the right. But, I digress. Let's continue seeing this lady screech about Jimmy Kimmel's show being suspended. And look how fast they're quick to overreact over stuff, right? Scream bloody murder for what? A guy losing his show for like 5 days. You couldn't go 5 nights without seeing Jimmy Kimmel, really? I have not watched a show of Jimmy Kimmel in a long time. I think not since I was in high school. And that was almost 12 years ago. But I digress. Let's continue with their hyper hysteria.
No to Trump's authoritarian crackdown on our right to free speech. Now, let's be perfectly clear here. First, Trump wrote more than 2 months ago that Jimmy Kimmel's show should be canceled. Then, last week, Trump's FCC chair said that companies should take action on Kimmel, even saying that they could either do it the easy way or the hard way. And the companies got the message. ABC's largest distributor, which needs the FCC's approval for a $6 billion merger, immediately followed his orders and preempted the show, and ABC took it off the air indefinitely. So this was not about comments that a comedian made about Charlie Kirk. This is about a president leveraging.
And this is how they spin it, right? Oh, hey, he's not mad about what Jimmy Kimmel had to say. Now, Trump said Jimmy Kimmel's show should be canceled because of Stephen Colbert. I think his show was canceled too. And he said, hey, like, you're less funny than this guy. This guy brings more ratings than you. And his show getting canceled. You should be off the air. So I don't think Trump was making a political point there. But end of the day, when you're a president of the United States, when you're affiliated in politics, everything that you do is coded in politics. And then this gives the opportunity for Democrats to come out here. Let's make this clear. Democrats have zero intention of toning down their rhetoric. Duh. And I wish I could find the video, but I don't know how YouTube will take it. But I'll just leave it off right there. I didn't want to ramble too much about this. I'm pretty sure more clips and more debates about Jimmy Kimmel's unfiring or unsuspension will make the rounds online. And as usual, I'll follow up with that. Let me know your thoughts and perspective about Jimmy Kimmel. And does this kind of hurt the left's credibility when they come out here overreacting about Trump? Oh my God, Trump banned a comedian for like 5 days. That it seemed like he was just put on timeout, right? And I think this also is another way that, from an image perspective, Democrats continue to paint themselves as the hysterical, overreacting, over-exaggerating party. But let me know your thoughts and perspective in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on this matter. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video if you're so inclined. It really does help me out in the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.